RAYNET-UK RAYNET. This is Golf 4 November Romeo Charlie, operated today by Greg, Golf Sierra Delta Uniform Bravo, serving as net control for the RAYNET-UK weekly activity net. This net meets each Sunday afternoon at 1600 local time and is open to all amateur radio operators interested in emergency communications. The primary purpose of the net is to provide the opportunity for members to test equipment, exchange traffic, news, opinions and information. And additional information can be found on the RAYNET-UK website at www.raynet-uk.net. This is a directed net, which means all calls are to be made to the net control station unless you are instructed otherwise, and all RAYNET-UK operators are invited and encouraged to check into the net. When you do check in, please announce your call sign slowly and phonetically, and if you wish to pull up by your name, and if you wish to leave the net immediately after checking in, then please call in and out. Otherwise, if you want to leave after subsequent turns, please make it very clear you want to check out at that time. After I've heard a few check-ins, I'll repeat what I've heard. If you're not acknowledged, then please do try again, and I will be calling for any strays after the UK section and the international section if you miss your turn. Because, as usual, I'll begin taking check-ins to the RAYNET-UK weekly activity net in call sign number order, so any stations with figure 8 in their call sign wishing to check in, please do so now. This is G4 and RC.
G8 KLC, name's Phil. In and out please, Greg, but I'll try and listen to the notices.
Golf 8 Echo Yankee, G8 EEY, name is Mike.
RC has got Phil, Golf 8 Kilo Lima Charlie is in and out, thanks Phil, and Golf 8 Echo Yankee Mike is staying with us. Any other 8s please, G4 and RC, over.
This is Golf Juliet 8 Echo Papa Mike. I think maybe you heard me, Craig. This is Steve in Jersey. You have some routine traffic, over.
This is G4 and RC. I've got you that second time, Steve. Golf Juliet 8 Echo Papa Mike, copied. Okay, let's move on to the 7. Stations with figure 7 in their call sign, please call now. G4 and RC, over. G7, Golf 7 November Echo Hotel. Good afternoon, Greg.
Mike 7, Alpha Victor Oscar. Good afternoon, Greg.
G4 NRC has got Graham, Golf 7 November Echo Hotel, and Dave, Mike 7 Alpha Victor Oscar. Dave, I've got a feeling you're coming in through Fusion today, but you can confirm that later on. Any other 7s, please, G4 NRC, over. G4 NRC, then it's the 6s, stations figure 6 in their call sign, please go ahead. G4 NRC, over.
Golf 6, Papa Delta Echo. In and out please, Greg.
For an RC, good afternoon, Chris. Golf 6 Papa Delta Echo, in and out. Any other 6s, please? G4 and RC, over. G4 and RC, no more 6s, so let's have 5. Stations figure 5 in their call sign, please call now. G4 and RC, over. For an RC, no 5s, let's go for 4. Stations figure 4 in their call sign, please go ahead. G4 and RC, over.
Golf 4, Delta Tango Mike, in and out please, Greg.
for Hotel Uniform Foxtrot. Good afternoon, Greg.
Golf 4 Kilo Uniform Juliet.
It is G4 and RC. Okay, so Golf 4 Delta Tango Mike. Good afternoon, Pete. Copied in and out. G4 HUF. Good afternoon, Phil. And Trevor G4 KUJ, who is typing into the log sheet for me, also recognised. Any other fours, please? G4 and RC, over.
G4 WQP.
G4 and RC. Good afternoon, Keith. Golf 4 Whiskey Quebec Bravo. Okay, let's go for 3. Stations figure 3 in their call sign, please go ahead. G4 and RC, over.
G4 NRC, G3 VH, Chris in Winchester. Good afternoon, Greg. No traffic in and out, we'll listen round for the duration. G3 VH, Christmas Hill.
For an RC, good afternoon, Chris. Golf 3 Victor Echo Hotel, copied in and out. Any other threes, please? G4 and RC, over. G4 and RC, nothing heard. So let's have 2s. Stations figure 2 in their call sign, specifically the intermediate class stations. Please go ahead now. G4 and RC, over.
2 Echo 0 Charlie Mike Sierra, Colony Midway.
G4 and RC, good afternoon, Colin. 2 Echo 0 Charlie Mike Sierra. Any other 2 stations, please? This is G4 and RC, over. And RC, then it's the 1. Stations with figure 1. Figure 1 in their call sign, please go ahead. G4 and RC, over. G4 and RC, second call. Any stations with figure 1 in their call sign, please go ahead, over. G4 and RC, no 1s. So let's go into the Mike 0 stations of any regional secondary identifier. Please call now. G4 and RC, over.
M0 JSI, Alan, East Suffolk.
M0 Element, Paul, Essex, in and out.
M0 MFS, Drew, West Devon, no traffic.
Mike 0 Whiskey X-Ray Golf, Shirley in Cornwall, in and out. Thank you, Greg.
Mike 0 Golf Uniform Yankee.
Mike India 0, Mike Sierra Oscar. I'm on night, Greg.
Mike 0 India Tango Mike, Andy in Cornwall, Shirley. Thanks, Greg.
For NRC. That's given me plenty to play with. Alan, Mike 0, Juliet Sierra Alpha was first up. Paul, Mike 0, Lima Oscar Mike, copied in and out, just noting he was showing 16% packet loss through the Brandmeister side of the bridge. Drew, Mike 0, Mike Foxtrot Sierra, staying with me, but also showing 27% packet loss through the Brandmeister side of the bridge. Shirley, Mike 0, Whiskey X-Ray Golf is in and out. Guy, Mike 0, Golf Uniform Yankee, staying with me. Philip, Mike India 0, Mike Sierra Oscar is in and out, as is Andy. Mike 0, India Tango Mike. Any other Mike 0 stations of any regional secondary identifier, please? G4 and RC, over.
Info, in and out. Great.
G4 and RC, doubly slightly, but Mike 0, Juliet Uniform Juliet, copied you in, presuming you're staying with us. 18% packet loss showing on the Brandmeister side of the bridge, noting you're coming into the RAYNET server though, so I'm not sure why that packet loss is showing on the other side. Okay, let's have Golf 0 stations of any regional secondary identifier, please. G4 and RC, over.
Golf 0, Oscar Zulu Sierra Mobile.
Golf Whiskey 0, Juliet Lima X-Ray. Name is Andy, Pembrokeshire RAYNET. Good afternoon, Greg. No traffic today, so in and out, please. Over.
G4 and RC, good afternoon, Ian. Golf 0, Oscar Zulu Sierra Mobile, staying with us, and Andy, Golf Whiskey 0, Lima X-Ray, who's in and out. Okay, final call, any other Golf 0 stations of any regional secondary identifier? G4 and RC, over. G4 and RC, any UK stations who missed their turn to call in who wish to do so, please call now. G4 and RC, over. For an RC, okay, let's have any international liaison stations. That's usually our colleagues of Aran in Ireland, Nord-Samband in Norway, Slovak Republic. Any international liaison stations, please call now. G4 and RC, over.
Oscar Mike 4, Alpha Echo India. Good evening from sunny Slovakia. The name is Peter, and I have no traffic, so in and out, please.
G4 and RC, good evening, Peter. Oscar Mike 4, Alpha Echo India, copy to you in and out. Now, any stations, international or UK, who've missed their turn to call in, please call now for the RAYNET-UK activity period. This is G4 and RC, over.
Golf 0, Oscar Zulu Sierra D0S Mobile East Suffolk.
G4 and RC, Golf 0, Oscar Zulu Sierra Mobile. Ian, you were recognised. You are on the list. Any other stations, over?
I'm not sure who's calling who at the moment, Greg, because Ian G0OZS called in. I've called in the third time this time, fourth time in fact. Golf 0, Charlie, Foxtrot Bravo, Richard, East Suffolk.
There's G4 and RC. It's quite easy, Richard. If you don't hear your call sign, you've not been acknowledged. That's the first time I've seen you on either dashboard. So Richard, Golf 0, Charlie, Foxtrot Bravo, copied and currently number 24 on the check-in list today. Okay, any other stations? G4 and RC, over. G4NRC. Okay, thank you. 24 stations checked in. So good afternoon, everybody. Reminder the net is being live streamed by Graham, G7NEH, to YouTube. Live stream and recording are available by searching G7NEH, that's Golf 7 November Echo Hotel, on youtube.com. It's a time-constrained net today, so apologies, but I need to clear at 16:45. In theory, only 3 more weekends before summer affected like this, but someone is needed to pick up the net on the 26th of March, as Graham, G7NEH, and myself will be involved in the Zone 10 meeting that day, and we can't guarantee being back in time. This weekend was not as busy as last, with events reported on the National Diary in Kent and Stafford, and hopefully both events went well, with preparations not affected by the recent weather conditions. And one newsy piece submitted earlier by Trevor: our user service list grew a little last month, as apparently with effect from 27th of February, the Met Office and the Coal Authority were formally made Category 2 responders under the Civil Contingencies Act. That's no great change to our licence conditions, because due to wonderful foresight, we linked most of the user services to the legislation. But whether or not we'll get any queries from the Coal Authority remains to be seen. But on a licensing note, have you remembered to revalidate your license recently to download the latest conditions and understand what we are allowed to do? So with that, this is kind of time constrained, so we'll go to the top of the list. And Mike, Golf 8 Echo Echo Yankee, G4NRC, over.
G4NRC from G8EEY. Yes, I've revalidated all my licences. Do that quite regularly. Saves having to try and remember 5 years. Weather here, 11 centigrade, 1004 millibars, 100% cloud cover now. It was a bit sunny earlier on. And 80% relative humidity. 17 mile an hour winds from 240 degrees. Just managed to get back from Scotto, which is basically where RAF Cultural used to be. Done some signal tests there. Managed to do all 5 of them now for resilience exercise Acorn. Been fun. Not sure that we could have done it on one day as planned. Actually managed to do it on 6 separate days. From G8EEY, over.
Golf 8 Echo Yankee, G4NRC. Okay, yes, path testing takes longer than you think sometimes. Wondering if you're comparing what you're finding against some of the online models like Radio Mobile, because if we have confidence in the models, then it might make some of the testing be a bit more focused. But otherwise, all copied, and yes, I tend not to leave license renewals for the full 5 years, because I'm always afraid I'll forget, so it's usually more often than that. Okay, thanks, Mike. Next to Steve, Golf Juliet 8, Echo Papa Mike, G4NRC, over.
G4NRC, this is Golf Juliet 8, Echo Papa Mike. Thank you so much, Greg, and hello to everyone on the Sunday activity, RAYNET. Well, a little bit of weather. It's 12 degrees C in Jersey, 85% relative humidity, 1010 millibar. We're ending COVID vaccinations. In fact, I think they ended last week, so they'll probably come back in the winter, but we've ended them for now. Repeaters are all up and working fine in Jersey, so all our systems are working. And we're calling together all the RAYNET people, Greg, just to update some training and to make sure that we have properly set up regular cadence meetings with the whole team. And with that, there's no more for me today, Greg, so I'm out. I'm trying to be time constrained. G4NRC, this is GG80PM.
Golf Juliet 8, Echo Papa Mike, G4NRC. Thank you, Steve. Noted your comments on Jersey ending COVID vaccinations. I read but did not read, so it just flew by on a screen, that I think UK government's planning on doing some more COVID boosters for the most sensitive people this spring. but I didn't read much further into that. Very good idea to have more regular meeting cadence. The problem we have, of course, is that courtesy of COVID, people have found other things to do, so finding spare time is difficult. Anyway, thank you very much for coming on this week, and talk to you soon. Next to Graham, Golf 7, November Echo Hotel, G4NRC, over. Yeah, G4NRC, G7NDH. Good afternoon, Greg, and good afternoon to all on the net. Not a lot to add this week. Last week's net gained 25 views throughout the week, and 5 likes, which is good. And so far on today's net, we've got a concurrent viewers of 12 and 2 likes so far. And so I can ask everybody to hit that like button if they're viewing the stream. And thanks to all those that have subscribed to the channel, very much appreciated. The more likes we get, the more the YouTube algorithm likes it. So if you can do that. With that, not a lot else to add, Greg. Drop me out the next round. So nothing else to add. G4LRC, G7H. G7NRC. Okay, thanks for your efforts, Graham, in putting the YouTube stream together. It's certainly getting appreciated by people who may not smash the like button, but we do know it has its uses, as we've seen from previous nets. Okay, copied you out. Next to Dave, Mike 7 Alpha Victor Oscar, G4NRC, over.
G4NRC, Mike 7 Alpha Victor Oscar. Good afternoon, Greg. Good afternoon, all. Yes, answer to your question is I thought I'd give the Fusion Gateway a go again, and it seems it's working very well so far. Touch wood. Not much this week. Did get together with Graham on Friday, and we got the summer camp set that I acquired a few weeks ago up and running. We got some power into it and got some noise and squeaks out of it, and we're going to hopefully get that up and running 100% in the near future. Back to you, Greg. Mike 7, South Victor Oscar.
Mike 7 Alpha Victor Oscar, G4NRC. Yeah, it's probably worthy of another longer discussion about the age of equipment people have got on the net. It's relatively easy to say anything DMR is likely to be in only the 5 to 10-year-old bracket. Dave's come into some HF valve gear, which there's going to be a learning experience, I'm sure. Okay, thanks, Dave. Audio was tell that you were on Fusion because it was just a little lower than usual, but I will be glad to hear the gateway is working fine. Okay, next to Phil, Golf 4 Hotel Uniform Foxtrot to G4NRC, over.
G4HF, good afternoon all. Yep, well, as you can tell, the fact that I'm up and running, the saga of Tinterweb and landline was resolved, although I'm impressed with OpenReach. I am not impressed with TalkTalk, who decided to send me at least 2 routers, and decided I didn't need an OpenReach engineer to look at the landline. But I'm quite delighted they changed their mind, and it turned out, because that's what it was, a 40-year-old landline, which was creating the problem. Still had 1 or 2 little challenges, like I've got into the habit of rebooting my hotspot each week on a Sunday, and I couldn't find it today, which took a little bit of exploring, but we got there in the end. And with that, before I start waffling, I'm going to shut up. Back to you, Greg. G4NRC, this is G4HUF, and you can count me out as of now, over.
HUF, G4NRC, you took Trevor by surprise. The cursor wasn't hovering over the out button there. Okay, thanks, Phil. I think the reason TalkTalk will avoid calling OpenReach is that it's a chargeable call, and if it's not OpenReach's fault, then somebody has to pick up the bill. So they have issues when the customer doesn't want to do it. 40-year-old landline, though, also restates we do have this initiative coming forward where BT wants to cease copper telephony in a lot of areas. There was a lot of furore about it last year. It said it was being put on the back burner, but I think it is back. So we need to watch that as our communications landscape changes again. Okay, next to Trevor, G4KUJ, G4NRC, over.
G4NRC in the group, G4KUJ. Replying. Good afternoon, Greg and everybody else. Not much to report this week. We had a dusting of snow on 2 or 3 days during the week, but nothing of any consequence that would cause anybody any trouble. Yes, the additions to the CCA Cat 2 Coal Authority may be surprising, but is actually quite relevant in flooding situations where there can be leakage from old mines into watercourses, which can affect drinking water. The resilience director at the Coal Authority is an ex-colleague of mine from some years ago, and knows RAYNET well, as she actually ran some structured debriefs for exercises for Hertfordshire and for Zone 4, I think, a couple of times. Apart from that, nothing further, so I'll not come back for the second round, but we'll be here logging for you. G4NRC, G4KUJ.
G4KUJ, G4NRC. Interesting. Yes, I'd forgotten that what goes down can occasionally come back up again. So yes, now I understand why the Coal Authority gets woven into the mix. Okay, thanks, Trevor. Thanks for your help logging today as well. Next to Keith, Golf 4, Whiskey Quebec Bravo, G4NRC, over.
G4NRC, G4WQB. Afternoon all. I really meant to say in and out, but I got distracted on something else. So apart from that, yeah, I'm just starting to play with FT8. I'm getting into the complexities of that. Great fun. I'll listen around and then but I won't come back. Back to you, G4WQB.
Hello, I dropped out, so I got bumped out. Okay, thanks, Keith. Copied you out on that one. Next to Colin, 2 Echo 0, Charlie Mike Sierra, G4NRC, over.
Yeah, 120 CMS. Yeah, afternoon, great afternoon all. Not much to report this week. Had a few inquiries following the Starlink piece in Checkpoint. So replied to a few emails and set up a few phone calls, answered some questions on that. So it sounds like a few other groups are interested in getting a similar sort of setup as well, which is all good. Been approached by a parish council this week to do a presentation for them about emergency communications in a couple of weeks' time at one of their emergency planning meetings. But apart from that, I haven't got anything to add. And I'll duck out this time, and I won't come back for the second round.
For an RC, back to 2 Echo Zero Charlie Mike Sierra. Okay, Colin, interested in the parish council. It's a very patchy take-up in Cheshire amongst the parish councils as to which ones have plans or officers or not at all. Majority being the not at alls. But good luck with that, and good you got a good response to the checkpoint article. Okay, next to, I copied you out incidentally. Next to Alan, Mike Zero, Juliet Sierra Alpha, G4 and RC, over.
Yeah, good afternoon, Greg. Good afternoon, everybody. Lovely to hear you all on. A good for you today, and I'm not last, which makes a big change to not be last. So not an awful lot to report. We're gearing up for our first event next Sunday, which is a half marathon run and race. We'll sort of set up really, and that'll be our first event probably of the year, and obviously before we start playing more Europe. I'm sure Ian, who's on, will say more about that, but so far we're still waiting to hear what it is we are expected to be doing. I'll keep it short as you want to limit. Back to you, Greg. G4NRC, M0JSA in the group.
M0JSA, G4 and RC. Okay, well, good luck next Sunday. And as far as no word on what's happening in Exercise Mighty Oak, you are not alone. I said I know of one other county, which will probably be mine, in the same state that pre-read was promised, but I expect it will be only a couple of days beforehand, just to keep the exercise reasonably realistic. Anyway, we'll share what we hear as we hear it, no doubt. Okay, next to Drew, Mike Zero, Mike Foxtrot Sierra, and hopefully that packet loss was just a one-off. M0MFS, G4 and RC, over. G0NRC, M0MFS. Zero, Mike Foxtrot Sierra, G4 and RC. Drew, you were still scoring high on packet loss. It was 18% last time, and I only got your call sign. Try again. Mike Zero, Mike Foxtrot Sierra, G4 and RC, over. G4 and RC, nothing further heard from Drew, so we'll try again on the next round. Obviously, or feels like a hotspot or backhaul problem from his end. Guy, round to you. Mike Zero, Golf Uniform Yankee, G4 and RC, over.
G4 and RC, M0GUA. Yep, good afternoon, Greg. Good afternoon, all. Not much to report. I've been in Texas this week, so not done an awful lot of radio work. Obviously, the server is and has been now running in Amazon for a week and seems to be relatively stable. At least I haven't had to kick it doing anything, so I think that's a bonus there. It's well within the virtual allocation, so it's not hitting any boundaries, so that's always good. Otherwise, nothing more to add. Yes, the YSF bridge appears to be working and stable as well, so that's one more thing off the list. And we've had a couple of new registrations into the group as well onto the DMR server. So slowly catching up with a few more people. What's the user count at the moment? 279 users in the system at the moment. So anybody who's listening wants an account or
those people that want to get an account, then please get in contact with either Greg or myself, or technical, and we can create those accounts for you. Otherwise, nothing else, so I shall pass it back to you, G4 NRC. This is Mike Zero, Golf Uniform Yankee.
Mike Zero Golf Uniform Yankee G4 NRC. Okay, thanks, Guy. And yes, I got your emails, and those have been forwarded through to Com, so we shall get back to you. And I was going to pick up the registration numbers, so you just give me that one. Saves me looking for it. Okay, thank you. There are 3 left to call on this round, so it's Mike next. Mike Zero, Juliet Uniform Juliet G4 NRC, over.
G4 NRC, 0JUJ. Good afternoon, Greg, sorry. Numbers to report here, Southeast Hants Raynet. We now have a date for AGM. It's kind of a semi-emergency AGM after the passing of our controller, T0AVP. And we're all looking forward to that so that we can get a committee back up and running and begin to sort out some events. Other than that, nothing else very exciting happening in Portsmouth. G0NRC, 0JUJ.
0JUJ, G4NRC. Okay, thanks, Mike. And don't forget, once you have that AGM, just make sure whoever's still an officer on your committee just logs into the registrations database and updates us with the officers. That would be great. Okay, 2 left. Next is Ian. Mike Zero, Oscar Zulu Sierra Mobile, G0OZS Mobile, G4NRC, over. G4NRC, returning to Golf Zero Oscar Zulu Sierra Mobile. Okay, and I missed a lot of that, and I'd be interested to see if others concur, but you were definitely there on Brandmeister, but nothing was coming back through the bridge from you onto the RAYNET-UK server, and I had to change talk groups to get you, and then wake up the offending talk group on my hotspot, of course. So, and Trevor concurs with that. So you wanted something passed on. You were being asked to pass something on about tests, but I didn't get it. I only picked up that we're going to get an update after your first East Suffolk event of the year next week. So I'll get that one from you on your final, hopefully, again. We'll go to the last on the list because I'm running out of time. Richard, Golf Zero, Charlie Foxtrot Bravo, G4NRC, over.
Golf Zero, Charlie Foxtrot Bravo. Thank you, Greg. I did say in and out. I'm pretty sure I did, but having said that, I don't have anything to report, so it's over.
G4NRC. Okay, sorry, Richard, I didn't copy that. That was the case, but thanks for the quick in and out then. Okay, thanks all. End of the first round. Let's go quickly round those who are left to take any finals, and then I'll get that final for Ian. So, Mike, it's back to you. Golf 8 Echo Echo Yankee, G4NRC, over.
G4NRC from G8EY. Yes, I missed the first half of Ian's over there when it chopped over to 23531 from the RAYNET server. But I'm sure he'll have something to say. Yes, I've used a number of different varieties of radio path plotters over the years, a lot of them at work. The plot from Cultural today looked lovely. The end result was it was terrible, but because the path plots don't always take into account metal hangers and buildings and all sorts of stuff that get in the way. From G8EY, over.
Echo Yankee, G4NRC. Yes, it's a bit bad news that some of the ground clutter data or even the terrain data is based on space shuttle flights, and we know how long ago those were. So it can be, but it can be a tool. At least you know it's in the box. Okay, thanks for your attendance today, Mike. Next with me is Dave, Mike 7 Alpha Victor Oscar, G4NRC, over.
G4NRC, Mike 7 Alpha Victor Oscar. So, nothing more this end, Greg. Best wishes to everyone, and hopefully we'll catch you next weekend. We've nothing in between, I don't think, have we? Mike 7 Alpha Victor Oscar.
M7AVO, G4NRC, thanks for coming on, Dave. Yes, well, ping me if you need anything testing on air. Right, so we have a cluster of outs, thank you people, which takes me next to Alan, Mike 0, Juliet Sierra Alpha, G4NRC, over.
Yeah, M0 JSA returning. Yeah, the Pheonix network's been playing one word words, that's been cutting people off. So Ian's been missing some of the stuff. Yes, he was clearly on the Pheonix dashboard, but he wasn't on my hotspot and he wasn't on the DMR server, so it got lost in Brandmeister somewhere. I'm not quite sure what happened there. He may want to be speaking to Mike G8EY, as he's our Zoom controller, so that may be what he was trying to do. I don't know. Time will tell. I'll let you go on. M0JSA back to G4NRC. Thanks for doing it, Greg.
G4NRC returning. Thanks, Alan. And talk to you next. Well, good luck with your event next week, and we'll see if you get clear fast enough. Let's have another go for Drew, who was unreadable last time, although slightly better packet loss. Mike 0, Mike Foxtrot Sierra, G4NRC, over.
G4NRC from Mike 0, Mike Foxtrot Sierra. How are you reading me this time, Greg?
Zero Mike Foxtrot Sierra, still showing us a lot of packet loss, but that was at least all readable. Drew, go ahead, over. Mike 0, Mike Foxtrot Sierra, G4NRC. Sorry, Drew, nothing that time. Might be worth you just hanging around to the end of the net and having a check with somebody who can stay around to see if they can find out what the issue is. 66% packet loss through Brandmeister. That's your last little blip, and that was pretty much all it was. 1.1 seconds of traffic. Next to Guy, Mike 0, Golf Uniform Yankee, G4NRC, over.
G4NRC, M0GUI. Yep, thank you, Greg. Nothing else to add, I don't think, so I'll keep it short. Thanks for running the net, and I will speak to you soon. Have a good week, everybody, and thanks very much. From Mike 0, Golf Uniform Yankee, back to you, G4NRC. 73s.
G4NRC, back to Mike 0, Golf Uniform Yankee. Thanks, Guy. Yep, 73s to you. Final please from Mike 0, Juliet Uniform Juliet, G4NRC, over.
G4NRC, M0JUJ, and that's all from me, folks. Thanks very much, Craig, and thanks everybody for being there. 73s, and see you next week. M0JUJ.
G4NRC, back to Mike 0 Juliet Uniform Juliet. Yeah, I have a distinct temptation to do it. That's all, folks, as well sometimes. Thanks, Mike. Talk to you soon. Right, Ian, you are the last on the net today, and want to have another go at sending you traffic. Golf Zero Oscar Zulu Sierra Mobile G4NRC, over.
From G0ZS Mobile, just check I'm getting in.
Zero ZS, go ahead, over.
Okay, from G0ZS Mobile, just quickly, Slim G6XRX, who is one of the Forest Heath people, was hoping to get in touch with Mike, G8EY, and would be grateful if Mike could call him regarding tests on Mighty Oak. I was talking to Slim earlier on the phone, and he asked me to pass the message. G4NRC, this is G0ZS.
Zero ZS, G4NRC. Okay, right, we'll just confirm. Golf 8 Echo Echo Yankee, did you copy the last G4NRC, over?
G4NRC from G8EY. Yes, all copied. I am planning to get back to Slim. We've got an LRF meeting on the 14th, and I'll have a bit more information on what days we're involved on Mighty Oak and whether we can fit some long-range tests in. It'll be interesting to see how we manage that under national power outage conditions. Over.
G4NRC. Okay, thank you, Mike. Message duly passed and acted on. Even better. Okay, thanks, everyone. Just a little bit into overtime. If anybody could keep a listen out for Drew, Mike 0, Mike Foxtrot Sierra, to see if we can get to the bottom of his issue with the high packet loss, would be appreciated. But other than that, I'd like to thank everybody for taking time out of your schedules to participate in the net today. Be careful, have a good week, and until next Sunday afternoon at 1600 hours local time, I'll now close the RAYNET-UK weekly activity period and return the talk groups to an open net rather than a directed net.